Hello. Today I want to show you guys a new ender pearl stasis chamber. Um, this ender pearl stasis chamber, I think, addresses some of the problems that you guys brought up with the last one. I know it's been a while for all the people who actually saw the last one. Thank you. I didn't expect that video to get as many views as it did, and for all the comments, I did try and answer some of them. For the most part, if I didn't answer you directly, it's either because I was busy or I might have answered it somewhere else. But this, I think, should be better from the last one. If you recall, my last interprostasis chamber used a cat and a counter. I also showed off the Frostwalker variant for single player if you're interested in that. That one I think is just great for single player, so you should use that. But this one I believe works in single player and multiplayer. I did look up on Reddit and people said that wireless redstone, which is the basis for this chamber, does seem to work on the paper servers that they tried, but it could depend on the server config. So please feel free to build this. It's very easy to build and see if it works, and hopefully it does, and you can use it. If you're interested in how this thing actually works, I'm going to link a video in the description. IPlayGames basically is where I took this design from and where I was inspired by, so I highly recommend it. But if we go ahead and check our chords here, you see that we are at 500 by 500, just about. And if we just put in one item in here, we can even stand right in front of the dropper so you pick it up. You will see we have now teleported to 60,000, 60,000, which is quite a ways away. So as you see, this is very, very truly wireless. Now, if you are amazed by what you just saw, again, this is how wireless redstone works. So it's nothing too complicated. It can get complicated, but I'm going to keep it as simple as I can so that it's buildable and you guys can just copy it. And again, if you want to understand how it works on a more technical level, please watch the video. But I'm just going to build it for you first. So what you guys saw was actually a transmitter. And you can build the transmitter wherever you want, but this is as simple as it gets. This is a simple transmitter, and whenever we put an item in this dropper, the transmitter will basically send out a signal, the amount corresponding to the amount of items that we put in the dropper. So if we put in just one item, it'll send out one signal and it'll fire the chamber once wherever we are, as long as we're in the same dimension. So this is dimension locked. You can't go across dimensions, but you can just build it. It's very easy to build in all the dimensions, so you have a chamber wherever you go. So if we were to, for example, put in 5 levers, you would see that the trapdoor would literally flick up and down like 5 times. So this is the transmitter. It's fairly simple to build, so I don't think I need to really show it block by block here. These are just iron blocks. They're just for style. You can use any block you want. Just make sure this block in front of the sticky piston is not glass, I believe. As long as it's not glass, just any solid block should be good to go. And then these daylight sensors are inverted, so you do need to get some nether quartz to craft these. This is how they look like by default. When you right click them, they should turn blue. This is what you want, okay? This comparator can be on either side too. So you can hook it up like this, for example. This comparator is in subtract mode here. So right click on the comparator so the front torch is on. That's how you want it, as subtract mode. And like I said earlier, this can be on the right sensor and then dust on the left. That's fine. Or you can have comparator on the left, dust on the right. Doesn't matter, however you want to do it. And then just feed this into a block, a redstone dust, and then you have a sticky piston with a block. And it should just automatically start pulsing. And if it does, you basically built it correct. So good job. So all you have to do is just have a observer reading from this dust here, have a 2-tick repeater coming out, and then a comparator. Again, this is for the transmitter. It's going to be very slightly different for the receiver, which I'll show you guys how to build. That one I will build because it's a little bit bigger. But for the transmitter, you build this wherever you want to actually trigger the chamber. So let's say you have your home base and you want to go to your farm, your gunpowder farm, let's say. So build the transmitter at your home base and then build the receiver at your farm. Okay, the receiver is where the chamber, where your ender pearl will actually be. The transmitter is what you're using to trigger the chamber at the receiver, okay? So yeah, like I was saying, 2-tick repeater coming out the observer, followed by a comparator, and then 5 1-tick repeaters, just all in a line, in a row, going to the dropper. The way that wireless redstone works, everything has to be pretty precise, so you have to basically do it exactly like this. If you even put, for example, blocks, like doing something like this, or if you do like dust repeater, this is all very different from this. I know it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's the exact same, but when it comes to wireless, you're looking at timings that are so precise that you want to basically mimic what I'm doing here for it to work, okay? Now that's the transmitter done. And again, we put in however many items we want. You basically only need to put in one item ever to trigger the chamber. So we're going to trigger it again. We'll put our redstone in there. We'll go back. We'll reload our pearl. And now this is the receiver. So as you see, the clock is the exact same. This is a 2-tick repeater, exact same. Notice, however, that the receiver has a repeater in front of this instead of a comparator, okay? So this is some key differences. And then these lines also need to be exact as well. So I'm going to just show it off here. I'm going to build it this way from scratch. Again, it's a very simple build, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but show you guys. We're going to make the exact same clock I just showed you earlier. We're going to take this observer. It's going to read from this dust. Out this observer, we're going to have a 2-tick repeater. And again, this is for the receiver. So instead of a comparator here, we're going to put another 1-tick repeater, like so. Run this 2-tick. And then kind of just make like a U shape here, where you have one line going straight out, then go like 2 blocks to the left, and then another line like this. And then just put dust, right, like that. And then you're just going to put on the right or the left, it doesn't matter, but just to be safe, just put on the right. Put 5 1-tick repeaters, just like that. 5 1-tick repeaters. And then on the left here, we're going to have a comparator first, and then 4 1-tick repeaters. So it should look exactly like this. And as you see, that's basically what I have set up here. Exact same idea. Okay, so 2-tick repeater coming out the observer, and then all the other repeaters are just 1-ticks, at least until the very end. You'll see that. And then right side here, all repeaters. Left side, comparator, followed by 4 1-tick repeaters. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our dropper, put that here. So we'll take our droppers, and we're going to put a tower of 3 droppers. So the first 2 are going to just go straight up, like so. And then the top dropper is just going to be facing forward. So it should be right on top like that. Okay, so again, these bottom 2 face straight up, and the top one faces forward. And then I recommend glass or glass panes here. You can use solid blocks, but glass just helps you see the items actually getting dispensed, so you know you're doing it right. Put glass like so, so it's like just to the right of the droppers. And then you're going to take some trapdoors. You're going to place a trapdoor on the top block and the middle block here. Top block on the bottom, and then flick it. It should look like this, okay? Again, top block, aim at the bottom, flick it up, exactly like that. And then you're going to place another trapdoor on the middle block, but now facing at the top, okay? So top of the middle block, and it should automatically be flicking, okay? It should look exactly like this, kind of like an L, if you've done it right. And then basically you're just going to encase this like upper portion with glass. So we just need glass on the left and on top and then in front. And that's basically it. That's all you need. And then, at least for glass, that's all you need. And then you're just going to put 1 hopper going into the bottom dropper like this on both the towers here. Then we're going to put a comparator coming out of both hoppers like this. And then observers, make sure the face is facing the comparator, so it's reading from the comparator, and then it's giving a signal out this way. Put 2 repeaters coming out the observers like so, and then we'll feed this into a line of redstone dust. And then a redstone torch. This torch can go anywhere. It can go here, 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 here. It doesn't matter. Just wherever you want, whatever's most convenient. We'll just put a torch there. And then for this final repeater, this repeater will be 2 ticks. And it's very important that this is 2 ticks. Okay, so once again, the repeaters that need to be 2 ticks, the one coming out of the observer, the very first one, and then all these repeaters in between are all 1 tick. And then the very final repeater here coming out of this torch, 2 ticks again, okay? That's a very important note. And then just feed this into another torch to invert it, and this will be connected to your chamber. So we can make like a bubble column here. And there we go. And then we can put our trapdoor and our pearl. And we are basically good to go. So all we need to do at this point is simply make our transmitter. We made our receiver and we make our transmitter. And again, I'm just going to use the same one we used earlier. We got to make sure this is chunk loaded as well. That is an important note. So you see this will be chunk loaded because the pearl is in here. If you want to look at your chunk boundaries, make sure you press F3 and G. And then just make sure that there's a stasis chamber in all the chunks of your receiver if it's very far, so that you can actually teleport. So we'll just have another stasis chamber right there just to load this chunk as well. And we should be good to go. We're going to TP back to the 500, 60, 500. And if we've done it right, again, we're just going to put 1 item in here. We'll put a trapdoor. And as you see, we've now teleported to our brand new receiver that we, teleported to that one actually. Oh, my bad. Last step. This is actually good that I made this mistake so you guys can see. But as you saw, it worked on this one, which is the exact same, but I'll show you that it works on this new one we built too. We're going to disable the clock on that. If you want to disable this clock or just shut this off anytime, again, just put a block by the piston here and then a lever. Very easy. You flick it, stops, okay? Obviously, when you want to actually teleport, just make sure that clock is on. Okay, yes, so last step, we're going to put items in here, okay? You could put unstackables or you could put stackables. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you put at least 4, I think, in each dropper. I'm just going to split up my dust here. So we'll put 16 there and then like 19 there. I think it just needs 4 items in the top dropper here, and then it should funnel itself with the hopper and the dropper vader here. And now we're going to try that again. We're going to go back to 560, 500. And again, transmitter, exact same clock, 2 tick repeater, comparator, and then 5 repeaters, all 1 tick, into a dropper. And moment of truth, we put a pearl. And as you see, we've now gone to our brand new receiver. Now that it actually is dispensing items. And that's going to be about it for now. Now there is obviously levels to wireless redstone. So there's ways that you can program and add like more frequencies, more locations. There's very talented people on YouTube that have made stuff like that. But I might show how to make simpler versions of basically using a transmitter to choose which chamber you want to go to. I've already built kind of something along the lines of those with these versions here. So if you guys want to see that, I guess let me know. But I figured I'd start small and simple so you guys can follow along and enjoy wireless redstone. Please let me know if this chamber works for whoever sees it. And if it doesn't work, let me know what server as well. But in theory, hopefully, this does work for you guys and you can use and abuse it. Just make sure, again, copy the timings, as I've said. Make sure your receiver is chunk loaded, okay, in all the chunks. And then, yeah, build your transmitter wherever you want. And you'll be able to teleport without having to log out. And here, I'll go ahead and put one more item in here. And there we are. Teleported again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a longer one, but I wanted to make sure that you got a full tutorial this time. I guess if you guys want a schematic, I could provide it, but I feel like it's fairly simple to build, so have at it. See you guys.